This channel does not promote or encourage any illegal activities. All contents provided by this channel is meant for educational purpose only.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Computer Networks course, and today we will see the various components of a computer network. Upon the completion of this session, we will be able to understand nodes. We will also understand what are the different media in computer network and what are the various services offered by computer network. Any computer network has three components: nodes, media, and services. Firstly, we will deal with nodes. We have already seen nodes in detail in the previous lectures. A node can send or receive or both send and receive the data. And these nodes can be an end node or an intermediary node. We can call end nodes as end devices and intermediary nodes as intermediary devices. We will first see end nodes. End nodes are the nodes that is going to be the starting point in the communication or the end point in the communication. If two devices wants to communicate with each other, the device which initiates this communication is an end device, and the device which accepts the communication at the final stage is an end device. And these two end devices are going to communicate with each other with the help of some intermediary devices. Let's first see some examples for end devices. A computer is an end device. Network printers, voice over IP phones, telepresence endpoint, this is mainly for video conferencing. Security cameras, and many mobile handheld devices like smartphones, tablets, personal digital assistants, wireless debit or credit card reader, barcode scanner, and many more. We are done with end nodes. Now we will see some examples for intermediary nodes. Intermediary nodes are nodes that just forwards the data from one node to another. In other words, they are going to be placed in between end nodes. Switches, wireless access points, routers, security devices like firewall, bridges, hubs, repeaters, cell phone tower, etc. If you feel any of these terms are new, no worries, we are going to deal elaborately about all the terms in detail in the upcoming lectures. There are a lot of end devices and intermediary devices involved in this scenario. These devices, smartphone, voice over IP phone, printers, these desktop computers, tablet, and web servers, these are all end devices. Switches, cell phone tower, this wireless router, these routers and this switch, they are intermediary devices. We are done with nodes. Now we will move on to the media. Media, it is also called as the link. We know very well that link is going to carry the data from one side to the other. This link or this media can be a wired medium or a wireless medium. Some authors refer wired medium as guided medium and wireless medium as unguided medium. In wired medium, there will be a cable that connects two nodes. Whereas in a wireless medium, cable will not be present. Since cable are used to guide the data flow, we call wired medium as guided medium. Whereas there is no cable in a wireless medium. And that is why we call wireless medium to be unguided medium. We will see some examples for wired medium and wireless medium. The examples for wired medium are Ethernet cables, fiber optic cable, coaxial cable, and USB cable. We will see each of these cables in detail now. Firstly, Ethernet cable. This is an example of an Ethernet cable. Ethernet cable is an example of a twisted pair cable. I will talk about twisted pair cable in the upcoming lectures. For time being, you just know this is an Ethernet cable, and this Ethernet cable comes in two variations. One is Ethernet straight through cable and Ethernet crossover cable. We will see the difference between this Ethernet straight through cable and Ethernet crossover cable. If we want to connect different devices, we have to go for Ethernet straight through cable. In case if we want to connect two devices of same kind, say two switches or two routers or two computers wants to be connected to each other, then we have to go for Ethernet crossover. In Ethernet cable, the data is going to be carried in terms of electrical signals. So far we have seen Ethernet straight through cable and Ethernet crossover cable. Now we will move on to fiber optic cable. In fiber optic cable, the data is going to be carried in the form of light waves. We know very well that light is the fastest one in the world. Since this cable takes the data in the form of light waves, this is the fastest mode of wired communication. Now we will see coaxial cable. This is an example coaxial cable. This cable is mainly used for audio or video communication. We can see this cable in our home. If you have a set-top box, just go and see this coaxial cable which connects the dish antenna and the set-top box. This cable also carries the data in the form of electrical signals. And coming to USB cable, USB stands for Universal Serial Bus. This cable is used to connect a computer and a smartphone. We know very well if we want to connect our computer to a smartphone, most of us will prefer this cable only. And we are done with wired media. Now we will move on to wireless media. In wireless media, two or more devices are going to communicate with each other but without the help of a cable. Here, air is the medium that carries the data from one node to other. In wired networks, data are converted into signals, maybe electrical signals or light signals. Whereas in wireless network, data are converted into waves. Coming to the wireless media, we have infrared waves, radio waves, microwaves and satellite waves. Infrared waves are mainly used for short range of communication. Example, TV remote control. The wave between the remote control and the television is an infrared wave, and if the distance between the TV and the remote control increases, this communication cannot happen because infrared are used for short range communication. Coming to the radio wave, the range of this radio wave is higher than infrared. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi uses radio waves. The next one is the microwaves. Example, cellular system. Our cell phone technology uses microwaves. Microwaves are used for long distance communication when compared to radio waves or infrared waves. And finally, the satellite communication. And this is ultimately the long distance communication. Our GPS enabled cell phone gives signal to the satellite and the location of this device is identified with the help of this signal. So far we have seen nodes and media. Two types of media are addressed, wired media and wireless media. This scenario involves both wired media and wireless media. These straight lines represents Ethernet straight-through cables. Just recall what are Ethernet straight-through cables? Say a computer with a switch with a printer, a switch with a router, a wireless router. But Ethernet crossover cables are used to connect devices of similar type. Between routers, we use only straight-through cables. Straight lines are Ethernet straight-through cables and dashed lines are crossover cables. So this is an example for a wired media. At the same time, our example also uses wireless media. In this case, between smartphone and cell phone tower, wireless technology is used. Between smartphone and wireless router, between tablet and wireless router, we have wireless technologies. To be specific, here microwaves are used because this is a long distance communication. And here radio waves are used because this is a Wi-Fi router and smart device. So this is a longer distance communication when compared to this communication. We will now see the third component of a computer network, services. We use computer network for sending mails or receiving mails, storing our data in a remote computer. Google Drive is an example for storage. We can share files using computer network. We can send instant messaging like WhatsApp using computer network. We can play online games using computer networks. We can make voice calls using voice over IP. We can also do video calls or video conferencing using video telephony. And we can also use computer network for surfing internets, that is accessing websites. We have already seen about nodes and media, and the last part here is the services. This scenario involves many kinds of services. Suppose if this guy is sending some message to his friend through WhatsApp, so it uses instant messaging. And two people are talking over voice over phone. So this is voice communication is happening. So voice communication is one of the services of computer network. If somebody is accessing Amazon.com, so he is using www, that is the World Wide Web services. And there is a file here. If this computer wants this file, it uses this computer network for getting that file. So file sharing is another service depicted in this scenario. And that's it guys. We have seen nodes, media and services. I hope now you are clear with nodes, different media, wired media and wireless media, and various services like email, instant messaging, file sharing, World Wide Web, voice over IP, etc. I hope the session is informative. Thank you for watching.